Hey guys, this is Vix. Welcome to Mentoring Monday. Today's topic is have a sense of urgency. I'm going to talk about the importance of having a sense of urgency. So what does urgency mean? It means if something is urgent, it needs to be dealt with as soon as possible. A sense of urgency means you always see things as urgent. It's pretty obvious. Meaning you don't really wait for a situation when you're asked to deal with it. You do it urgently, that sense of urgency. This means you respect time, both yours and the other person's, especially the other person's. They'll appreciate that. And you have a deadline in mind, not just whenever I get around to it. This means that you're proactive and not reactive. How many people do we know that are reactive? You spend all day reacting. That's not the way to deal with problems. I've rarely seen a super successful person in business or life who lacks a sense of urgency. When you have a sense of urgency, you just get a lot more done. Have you ever noticed people that just say, get shit done? They have a sense of urgency. Failure to have that sense of urgency means procrastination and not getting or achieving your goals. We all go through these phases of procrastination, some more than others. When I enter into an agreement to work with someone, I want to make sure there's an alignment. I want to know, do they have a sense of urgency? Are they passionate about what they're doing? Do they communicate clearly and in a timely manner? It's very frustrating when one person in the relationship has a sense of urgency and the other has none. It's definitely a formula for a dysfunctional and non-productive relationship. If you have a sense of urgency, you're action-oriented. One of the most identifiable qualities of a person who is successful is that they are action-oriented. Brian Tracy is a well-known author and motivational speaker, so I'll talk about 5 of his steps on how to develop a sense of urgency. Very important. Take time to think and plan. Highly productive people take the time to work, plan, and set your priorities of what you have to do. Then they launch quickly and strongly towards their goals and objectives. They work steadily, smoothly, continuously, and seem to accomplish enormous amounts of work in the same time period that the average person spends socializing, watching TV, wasting time, and working on low-value activities. Get into the flow. When you work on high-value tasks at a high and continuous level of speed, you can actually enter into an amazing mental state called the flow. You might have heard it called the zone. Almost everyone has experienced this at some time. Super successful people are those who get themselves into this state far more often than the average person. And this state of flow, or being in the zone, which is the highest human state of performance and productivity, something almost miraculously happens to our mind and to our emotions. We feel elated and crystal clear. Everything we do seems effortless and accurate. We feel happy and energetic. We experience a tremendous sense of calm and personal effectiveness. That's called being in the zone or in the flow of things. Become more alert and aware. So in this new state of flow, we actually function on a higher plane of clarity, creativity, and competence. We are more sensitive and aware. Our insight and intuition functions have incredible precision. We often come up with the most brilliant ideas and insights that enable us to move ahead even more rapidly. So that's my best area of creativity, was when I get into this state of flow or in the zone. You can develop a sense of urgency. One of the ways you can trigger this state of flow is by developing this state of urgency that I'm talking about. There's an inner drive and desire to get the job done quickly and get it done fast, rather than that old habit of procrastinating. This inner drive is an impatience that motivates us to get going and keep going. Have some impatience. A sense of urgency feels very much like racing against yourself. That's why I look at things, I compete against myself. Create a basis for action. With this ingrained sense of urgency, you develop a bias for action. for getting stuff done. You take action than rather continually talking about what you're going to do or analyzing facts or procrastinating. You focus specifically on steps that you can take immediately. By employing this technique, you concentrate on the things you can do right now to get the results you want and achieve the goals that you desire. Okay, so how do we put this in practice? There are two things you can do immediately. First, select one major high priority task confronting you. What have you been thinking about? I did a track called Now or Never, sort of the same thing. What's confronting you? So let's do it now. Do it immediately. Don't hesitate. Move fast. Second, start doing this every morning. When you wake up, think about what's that one major task I got to get done today. Just start on it first thing. Every day till it becomes a habit. It takes sometimes, 21 days, 21 times of doing something before it becomes a habit, but it will. One more tool I want to give you to help you maintain a sense of urgency. Create your own norms or your own standards for the time limit in which you answer emails, texts, and other forms of communication. For example, return all non-junk emails, maybe higher priority emails, within 24 to 48 hours. If you have friends or business colleagues who don't respond for days or weeks, I do, and it's like, well, why did I email you? What were we talking about? And you have to send them like 2 or 3 reminders. It's amazing for me. I found like on the second reminder email, they always respond. So how does it feel when you have to do that? It's just stressful. So have that sense of urgency. So I hope I've stimulated your brain as to why it's important to have a sense of urgency and how your life can be improved when that sense of urgency becomes a healthy habit. Start this habit today. And remember, it's never too late to reinvent yourself and start having a sense of urgency. Cheers.